Hello, welcome to Alive on One. Man, I keep saying like almost MCP, a gaming podcast that we talk about AMG style, AMG style games. My intros are getting worse and worse. I'm here today with Jin. How's it going?
Hey, Bork. I think you still have a functioning brain cell here and there, so keep on going, buddy.
Yeah, mostly. And also here today is our special guest, Ben, and I don't want to butcher your last name, so you can say it.
Yeah. And I'm Ben. Ben Lalka from GameStore Guardians, Pork Roll, live in the tundra of the northern country in New York. So, yeah. I also am a Slav, and we're going to talk about Slavs. Yeah, that's me.
Yeah. Also, I guess I will mention it because they almost didn't let you do it on your own podcast. Ben has recently achieved the new super duper ranking of 690 with Apocalypse.
Yes, I'm trying to go Super Saiyan in Longshanks, hoping that if I hit 700, I just break Longshanks. And
crashes.
it just explodes under the weight of 700. So the last time I checked, Alyssa does daily checks and actually takes pictures of my highest score. So the highest I've hit so far was 694.
Oh, it's gone up from doing nothing?
Yeah. Yeah, it's great. It's great.
You're just that powerful, right?
I just
I don't even have to play games. Watch it.
Yeah, just watch my power increase.
You just sit on this throne.
Yeah, dude. So
does it go up to 700?
I have been told that this is the highest rating a affiliated team has ever gotten. So we're going to see if it goes to 700.
You're breaking records. You're like an Olympic level athlete.
Yeah.
Ooh, what if it goes to 700, then immediately resets to 1?
Oh no! Why would you say that?
That would be Red Sam. Listen, that would be so funny.
Don't listen.
You could get a badge for the highest and the lowest rating.
See, that's what I was going to petition.
Like in Call of Duty, right? That's what they do.
Yeah, I'm the only prestige class in Longshanks.
Boy.
I am going to be petitioning Sam if I hit 700 to get a special badge.
Oh, that's cool.
Because I like badges.
So yeah, I have on here to talk about yourself, people know you from GameStore Guardians. People kind of know you in general, I feel like, the community. But tell us a little bit about yourself, Ben.
Yeah. So I've been in the MCP community for forever. I've been playing MCP since day one. Really didn't start getting competitive MCP until about, I think, season 3 of the TTS. Back before you actually could have the tools snap at each other. You actually had to measure them out. The old school ways. It was glorious. Those were the days. I've been playing miniature games what feels like forever. I started, I think, as most people do, through the GW games. I played Warhammer Fantasy and suffered. It was great back then when I didn't know any better. But now I just play a lot of skirmish level games. Really appreciate those types of games that bring me a lot of joy and don't have to carry about a whole bunch of stuff. I have been married for 11 years now, which has been awesome, and been courting Jin as my side piece.
That's why he keeps rejecting my advances.
It's just, he's a little wily though. He's making me work for it.
I need you to build up some more equity first, Ben. I don't know. I can't. The balance sheet is not very attractive.
Jin's a gold digger.
I also need that credit score to hit 850. Okay.
Oh yikes!
850.
850.
Listen, I want to make sure that my future is intact. Okay.
Yeah. If if you hit 790 on your credit score at the same time as your APOC score, then you'll be what's that called? EGOTing.
Yeah, well, that's what I was hoping. I was like, does that count for like? Can I get like some credit for my Longshanks rating? Or how does that work?
How do I translate this into cash?
Yeah,
well, that's what every MCP player listening to this podcast is like. How do I make money from doing this?
How do I get dollar dues?
Spoiler alert, you guys listen to us every week. We make no money. Oh, $2 a month.
There you go.
Shout outs to our Patreon supporters.
Yeah, shout outs to the Patreon.
We know him by name. Thank you, Dave.
Thank you, Dave. You're the GOAT. Always the GOAT. The best. The greatest.
You're the best. You're the best, Dave. Yeah. So I've just been in the nerd community for a long time. I have been in pastoral ministry now for 15 years. Yeah, 15 years. And I give thanks to God for that. So it's been really cool. I tell people I'm a nerd who loves Jesus and love slapping people too, which is great. So MCP allows me to do all of those things. So
nice.
I think that's kind of covered all of my bases, unless there's anything else. I travel with Jin and try to get him to marry me in Copenhagen. So
he's taking me to churches all the time, and every time
we're going to church, Jin. When the priest says "I do," just say "I do."
And they only allow you to wear white at this church.
Stop asking questions, Jin. Don't struggle.
I mean, the Brick Expressionism Church was definitely my favorite out of the ones we visited, so that was pretty good to see.
Yeah, that was a really good one.
Yeah, that was a really good one. Yeah, well, maybe next year. I'm trying to go, so we'll see how that unfolds.
Good, we can take you to churches.
We'll take you to church. It'll be good.
Cool. Churches have some, especially European churches, have some great architecture, so they're always worth checking out.
They really, there's a lot of really cool historical nuance stuff. We went to the largest cathedral in Copenhagen. It was in Roskilde, which is where all of the kings were buried, and so there's just like a lot of history. It's really cool. So it's a dual effect.
Absolutely. And also just a quick congrats on your team's, I mean, we already said this before, but congrats on your team's performance. You guys are the best team in America. So
yeah, we are the best team in America. Yep.
We are the best team
proven otherwise next year. So, or not otherwise, right? Sorry. Yeah. I didn't mean that to be negative and it came out. I meant
thanks. No pressure.
Have the title at least until next year. There we go.
Hey, Pork Rolls had the best team in America for 2 years running. So
that is true. Yeah, we are the highest placing U.S. team in both years so far.
Both years.
And you guys have to bring Rob to Europe, which must be an experience on its own.
We just slap a bell on him, and it's really easy.
Yeah. Oh, Rob's over there. Okay.
We just put a little bell on him. Easy peasy.
He'll show up to the table. That's all we care about.
That's true. Yep. Cool. So I guess kind of moving on tonight, we brought Ben on because I'm pretty sure there's a very limited amount of people who play MCP who even know enough to talk about this. So we're going to be talking about Winter Guard. So if you couldn't read the episode's title.
Yep.
Sometimes when we're recording these, I forget that I do a bunch of stuff after where people then have the information to listen to the exactly what they want to listen to. So whoopsie daisies. All right. So without further ado, we're going to start off our topic tonight with our usual stuff, kind of the preamble. Characters alive on one. Jin, I see you have something here.
Oh, yeah. No, I was playing a game with Nasi yesterday, playing a Force list into his max list. There was a point where Kat was holding an extract and was trying to be focus fired down, but she was alive on one to score the point. But afterwards, I needed to hit something to take out Beast with her, and it just didn't work out. So it led to a slow lose over there because I was eventually left with, I think, Kat, Spectacular Spider-Man, and Sam, and he still had Max, Gorgon, and a Beast left. And I was like, don't have enough firepower to stop him from just killing me now and winning this game. So Womp womp.
Womp womp. I don't have an Alive on one because I don't know. I played it a few games over the past week. Most of them have just been killing shit. So completely. So I get the job done, Jin. So I don't know what this is.
Skill issue. I know all the time.
Yeah, just to have war with your webs. Convert all those dice.
Who knows if you just cheated a little bit, that would be really good.
Yep. Oh man, if webs ever get like a war match equivalent, I cannot wait to see how much Ben just complains about this all day.
Oh yeah,
I'd be done.
So for our listeners, because that was kind of an inside thing a little bit, Ben is notorious for his hatred of web warriors. So
they're not even the top team, anywhere close to the top team.
They have always been top 5. Web players are just cowards when Apocalypse came in. At me, web warriors. Come on, man, Alex.
I know one web warrior though that has like the opposite sentiment into APOC. Your friend Jin from Texas.
Oh, Zach?
Yeah, Zach Cohen. He's like, I eat APOC for dinner. We just sling him up. I don't know. He didn't actually say that,
funny.
so it's not a direct quote.
Direct quote. I was like, man, that was actually Zach Cohen. That was his voice right there.
I don't even know the guy.
No. Zach is great because he will shit talk, but he will also back it up as well.
Yeah, Zach's a great player.
Yeah, absolutely. I just watched a game where he was talking, commentating on, so that's why he's kind of in my mind right now. But cool. So Ben, do you have any recent Alive on One experiences?
So my last game of MCP was into Omar, who's a pretty regular guy in the New Jersey meta, and I always have the privilege of playing him on TTS. And that man just kills my shit all the time. Just everything dies. So I'm sure that there was something Alive on One for like the briefest of second, and then a sneeze killed everything. So. So yeah, that was I played Shield into him, and he proceeded to just kill everything. So that was
nice.
I tried to.
Dead. That's actually our sister.
Yeah,
podcast.
It was just like, whoops, I'm dead. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, Omar's a great player and great guy. So, yeah, that was my last MCP experience. That's still fresh. I still have nightmares, from that. I'm recovering from that.
Okay.
Shout out to Omar. We love Omar. He's great.
Yeah, I don't actually know him, so cool.
He's great.
Hey, Omar. Cool. So moving on to, we have hobby catch up, which should be short because I think I'm the only one. I'm pretty sure your wife paints your models, Ben, and I'm Jin.
Yeah. Yeah.
Coincidentally, his wife is also painting my models as well.
Yeah. Okay, so you two are done. Caught up. There's a couple of things actually here. So I'm working on Gambit right now to just finish up my APOC team for no reason. I'm not doing that for any reason. And then 40K over break. I'm working on a 40K commission. Some Emperor's Children, so that should be fun. Lots of bright colors, lots of dark colors, and I'm also kind of going through my first experience on my already painted Toad with cell shading. So I'm going to be doing that Borderlands style cell shading specifically. So I'm going to be doing a lot of straight lines in the near future, and I'm going to try to apply that and kind of mix and match it up with my current style to kind of get like my own thing going to an extent. So I'm working on that with a friend of the podcast, Rob. And Rob's actually going to come on next month, and we're going to talk about how to up your hobby game. Because I know a lot of our, excuse me, I know on our podcast, like half of us paint, half of us don't. But a lot of people obviously hobby. So we're, that's always something we wanted to do. So we'll be doing that. And then we're going to do like a color theory episode, because I think Rob has some kind of like higher degree in like some art related things. So we're going to talk about that with Rob, probably January, February. So look forward to that coming up. Like I was saying offline, after we expanded and invited more people on and have been doing ShatterPoint, now we are having trouble fitting in all the content we want to do. So the faction focuses will be we have 12 factions left to go, and those will probably not be done till 2027 at this point. So, cool. Sorry, my throat just got super stuffy. I finally beat a bit my cold, which is really finally coming out. So that's kind of a life thing. But more importantly, I'm traveling down to New Jersey next weekend, and I'm staying at El Casa de Rob for PAX and for a concert him and I are going to on the Sunday of that weekend, and then it's Thanksgiving. And this episode might be released on Thanksgiving. I'm not quite sure what the schedule I'm going to pick is, but if it does, happy Thanksgiving. If it's not released on Thanksgiving, go fuck yourself.
And then happy Thanksgiving soon.
The Thanksgiving spirit.
Yeah. Hope you had fun fighting with your immediate family. And maybe the extended family, too. So.
I hope you had a lot of discussions on tier lists about Marvel Crisis Protocol.
Yep.
That's something that our podcast will not be doing. And then I have finals, and that's kind of life stuff. Either any of you, there's only two of you, so either of you have some stuff you want to talk about? I mean, or not? It's all good.
Jin,
nope.
You want to go?
No, just chugging along. It's funny because of the frequency of the podcast recordings have happened all in a row. There hasn't really been much in the way.
That's true. You've recorded 3 episodes in a week. Welcome to my life.
Yeah, I did. I will say I just got to watch Predator Badlands, and that has fulfilled all the things I kind of wanted out of a Predator movie in a very long time.
Oh, I have heard that it was really good. So it's on my watch list. Yep.
So the sell you on it, the POV is actually from the Predator's perspective, and there are no humans throughout the entire movie.
Oh, that's the worst part of Predator movies is humans. So
right. So imagine no humans ever. So
that's pretty cool.
No, it is really good. I speed run the Prey, Killer of Killers movies on Hulu to watch this because it's all made by Dan Trachtenberg. I think that's his name. But he's been an excellent steward of the Predator lore stuff because I really liked the comics and the novels when I was younger. So which greatly expanded like the cultural aspect of the monsters in the movie. So like to see that now more realized on screen was a very it was really nice. To finally get some justice done.
That's
very cool. I watched a movie with Channing Tatum about some guy who like was robbing McDonald's. That was a good movie too. Speaking of good movies,
nice.
He was like robbing McDonald's and then the kid out in a Toys R Us for like 8 months or a year or some shit. It was kind of crazy. It's a true story or based on one, so that's pretty cool.
That's cool.
Yeah, I guess the real life guy was robbing Targets and he'd break in like through the roof and then like wait in the bathroom till the people came into work and then rob the store, which is kind of interesting. So. But anyways,
Jin's already got some plans.
Yeah. Ben, I don't know if you listen to GSG, they know you, but you don't have to say any life things if you don't want to.
Yeah, no. So the two big things that I'm pretty excited about is next week Alyssa and I leave to head down to North Carolina to celebrate my sister's wedding. So we're going to go do that, which is going to be a long ride. It's like a 12-hour ride or something like that. But, we're really excited and happy for her. And so it's going to be a cool thing to just go and be with her and go do that. So that'll be neat. And then the other thing that we're really excited about is our church does Thanksgiving meals. Last year we fed 300 people in our community, and
cool.
This year we're preparing and getting all the stuff ready for 500.
Oh wow!
So we're
Jinx.
It's a lot of work. But it's something I'm really proud of our community about, and encourage in a day of thanks for many people and families. Just encourage to be ever mindful of those who may not have as many opportunities to have as much stuff. And if you can volunteer time, that's always a life-bringing thing. So
yeah,
encourage
absolutely.
you to do that.
And if they're close, you're in like upstate New York, and if you're listening to this around that area, where can they find you?
Yeah, so the Governor First United Methodist Church in Governor, New York. We're always taking donations for this is called our Thanksgiving meals. We do Thanksgiving meals. We do a Friday lunch program that feeds those who have food insecurities every Friday, which is a wonderful program that's been going on for about since 87-ish, somewhere around there. So it's been going on for a long time, since before I was born, which is cool. And we also do Christmas program or Christmas meals, in addition to some other stuff as well. But Governor First United Methodist Church in Governor, New York is a good way to do it. Or just go to your local food pantries, things like I said. It doesn't have to be our community, serve in your community. There's spoiler alert, there's going to be people who are hungry no matter where you are. So
That's very true.
feed people where you are. It's a good thing.
Yeah, I'm hoping that this year, I haven't talked to Midgard about this, but I'm hoping this year to do the charity event again through them too. I think it's really important to remember, especially around this time. I also forgot that this was possibly being released on Thanksgiving. So midway segment, people, is a challenging time of year for a lot of people who aren't as fortunate as many of us are. If we can buy, plastic models, I'm guessing we're a little bit fortunate. So just keep in mind, there's programs out there. And help Ben out if you're nearby.
Yeah.
Okay. Upcoming events. I'll just run through these real quickly. And Ben, if you have anything in your local area you want to plug to, feel free. So PAX Unplugged's coming up a week from now. There's still a couple of slots open. So if you want to go to Philly a week from tomorrow, or wait, this will probably be released the day before, so or after. Shit, PAX may have already happened by the time you listen to this. But there are a few slots left.
Yeah, if it comes up for, hey, come and join, we have a few slots up. If it's after, it's like, congratulations, insert winner.
You did a really good job. Beep. Oh man, I forgot. Man, this is a crazy problem to have. See, I can't even do my events normally. All right. But that same weekend is a standoff in Portland, Maine. That also may or may not have already happened. Congratulations, Maine person or New Hampshire person who won, based on the attendance right now. And then Everwinter, December 5th through 7th. That's at 25, so there's about a little less than 20 people or seats available for that, but you can go to that. And then the other event that we have on here is a Cap'n Con in Warwick, Rhode Island, January 30th to February 2nd. Singles January 30th. It's a team event. Oh, that's the team event. This Friday is the singles. I can do this from memory, though. It's kind of crazy. And the Saturday, Sunday is the team event.
Yep.
I may or may not have a team for that.
I hope so, yeah. Quick also thing for Everwinter. There is also a coupon code called Stay Frosty, I think, that you can use as 2 words for a couple dollars off for your convention pass, I think. So if that helps, ease the financial burden of you joining Everwinter, please go check it out. We'll be there all 3 days.
Yep. And another thing too to mention, just again to advertise this again. The Sunday you have the option of playing a fun event, or Jin's planning on running a pod. So if you want to go and game competitively the whole weekend, that is an option that is available. And you should take advantage of it. And it's in a great place in Boston, to be fair too. So, oh wait, they moved. Shit. Well, did they go back to Boston? I can't remember anymore.
Oh no, it's always downtown Boston. Yeah. So I think
one year it wasn't, Jin, but I don't know if you were there.
Oh well, this one I think is still in downtown Boston. So yeah, plenty of good stuff to hang out and eat at. Like
yeah, I think it's right by the Common, or close enough to walk to the Common. So I think it's in the business district actually, but. Common's nearby, some great food. It's Boston, blah, 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 everywhere. All right.
And I'll also plug this really quick, I guess, if you like, Ben. If you're not able to attend Everwinter, but you are in the New York State area, there is a Comic Zone, I think, event that's happening that weekend on December 6th, Ben?
December 6th. Yeah, if you're in the New York area or in the surrounding area near Syracuse, we'd love to have you. We're at 11 people, and spoiler alert, we might be getting some sweet, sweet purple dice.
Ooh. They're nice dice. I in fact gave up some things when my raffle name got called at Jin's event just to get the purple dice.
Ooh. Yeah.
So yeah, sacrifice your firstborn to the purple dice.
Yeah. I mean, I did unspeakable things for blue dice. So
is that when Jin and your romance first began?
Yes, that's how Jin and I first fell in love.
I'm wondering about this United Methodist group here. What are they selling?
It's some good stuff, man. I'll tell you what.
I guess it is, yeah.
Cool. So without further ado, I mean, any other events? I can't think of any. So
Nope, I think that's
no.
it for me.
Cool. So without further ado, tonight our main topic, which I'll probably talk a little bit less in because, as I was saying offline, I don't know Dick about Winter Guard. I've seen them maybe once. I think Kenny, our friend. Oh yeah, no, I remember, Ben. I reached out to you to ask you about a list because my friend Kenny was trying to put one together for some kind of like small event in Maine, and that was about the extent of my interaction with Winter Guard. So.
Good old days.
Yeah, so I guess like talking specifically about the faction, and you might address your snowflaking tendency here too, but explain why you got into we have the Slavs down here, like kind of what you found appealing about their lore, playstyle. Like, did you read the comics growing up, or stuff like that?
Yeah, so I love the Winter Guard for a lot of reasons. One, as you named, I am a Slavic person. I'm a third generation Ukrainian. So having an entire affiliation that is just Slavic persons or Slavic affiliated people is really cool. I think representation actually it matters, and so having an entire affiliation of fellow Slavs is pretty cool. Their comics are really neat when they moved away from just being generic, Soviet era bad guys. When they moved into basically Slavic Avengers, there's a couple of comic book runs. One that's called The Winter Guard. That's a great read and has some really funny reels. But one of the better ones is actually a Dark Star reel, where the main focus is obviously on the character Dark Star.
That's ironic.
Yeah, it is very ironic for reasons that we'll talk about. And they had another one that really focused on the Red Widow and when she became the leader of the Winter Guard. So there's not a whole bunch of stuff. Those comics came out in the early 2000s. And there hasn't been, like, Winter Guard characters have popped up here and there. They're not an overly popular affiliation or factions in Marvel, as they were predominantly used during like the Silver Age comics when, McCarthyism was reigning rampant in America, and Soviets were bad guys. So Iron Man got to beat up on Crimson Dynamo, who was a representation of the Soviet Union. And so, but yeah, and you also named it. I love doing really well with underrepresented affiliations. So it kind of checked a lot of boxes for me when the Winter Guard came out, and so I've been riding them on and off for a while. I'd be dishonest to say that I've played them nonstop, but they are one of my main go-to affiliations when I'm taking a break.
Nice. How did you feel about the Black Widow movie? I thought that was pretty good, personally.
I loved it. Yeah, I loved it. The White Widow, Yelena, is great. I can't remember the actress's name. Who plays her? That one, yes. Yeah. She is just great. She's carried a lot of the new MCU stuff, in my opinion, and Thunderbolts. Right, I just really, really like her. And the way that they did the Red Guardian was absolutely hilarious. Like, it was not comic book friendly at all, but it was very, very funny, and I loved it. So I'll take the laughing and having a silly character and having some representation rather than oh my goodness, it wasn't 100%. It's fine. Important fact, and maybe we can talk about this a little bit later. The Red Guardian in MCP is actually not the more common Red Guardian in the comics, and it is not the Red Guardian in the MCU. The Red Guardian who is in MCP is Nikolai, and Nikolai is the brother of Dark Star. So he's actually a mutant, and he gains the mantle of the Red Guardian, who is kind of like the Soviet Captain America, after Alexei is kicked out from the Red Red. There's a whole stuff. Read the comics. It's really a good read in my opinion. But Nikolai is actually more well known as the mutant Vanguard. So,
Interesting. Very cool.
Fun little
Is
fact.
he a new mutant? Speaking of bad factions.
Right, speaking of bad, he's probably new to the listeners. So,
cool. Well, very, very nice. Kind of sets the stage for talking a little bit more about like the faction as a whole. I have down here what makes Ben a Ben, but we don't have to address it. It's probably too deep for this hour.
That's a scary thing.
That's more by showing and then less by telling you what a Ben is.
Have you ever been slapped by a fat holy man before?
I can't say that I have.
All right. Well, then you wouldn't get it. You wouldn't get it.
Cool. So kind of moving more into the MCP stuff of this. Yeah, I mean, we can all see our first bullet point. Our listeners can't, but we can all see the kind of first bullet point here, which is just kind of talk. I mean, it's challenging with an affiliation like this, I guess. And I'm only saying that because I've been on one of these with myself with New Mutants, and there's usually a lot of souping. So, what is the if you had to boil down what Winter Guard is and maybe what you hope they would be too, you can kind of put that all in like one thought about their play style, and kind of talk about the characters too, I guess, at the same time.
Yeah. Well, the good thing about the Winter Guard is there's not a lot of characters that you have to remember. So, so that's a positive question mark. They are definitely designed as like a tanky affiliation, right? They're to kind of just hold the line and survive. I have found that that's not often how they play. At least the vast majority of the affiliation. I find the way that I play Winter Guard is a control faction. They have some really cool control pieces within their affiliation that forces you to think a little bit differently, and that they resist a lot of the control or condition game that other affiliations can try to doll out on you. And they're often when you play Winter Guard, you're going to have some big splashes or some important splash pieces. So they're a cool affiliation. If you want to play, your favorite character in another affiliation, this is a neat affiliation to make those characters often shine. I often find it really important when I talk about this that there are a couple of different ways to approach Winter Guard. I'd really encourage you to go on to the Winter Guard TTS Discord. There we go. Found it. I talk for a living. Don't worry. And ask our current Winter Guard head of the Longshanks leaderboard, which is our friend Ludo from the Montreal Shark Tank, who continually innovates and does a really wonderful job within the Winter Guard affiliation. He and I have some just different opinions and some thoughts, but he's a person that continually innovates and does some cool stuff with that as well. But I like to play some pretty heavy control Winter Guard. So that's often my approach to them. And yeah, I think that's probably the best way that I can approach that. I see that you did cross out the next one, but I am going to talk about it. There are three models that you should be playing in Winter Guard. And if you're not playing these three models in Winter Guard in terms of their affiliated list, then I think you're going to struggle. Those three models that I find, obviously, Crimson Domino, who is the leader, Red Guardian, and Black Widow is often what you're going to see is the core. It's your cheapest core that you can take. But I really encourage you as players and listeners to play Omega Red. Omega Red is like actually pretty good, and I think that you'd have a lot of fun playing Omega Red because you get to fart on people. So
I've actually seen him used like to pretty great effect. Not necessarily even in Winter Guard, but I saw him in maybe I don't remember. Maybe it was a Hydro list. I can't remember, but I saw him a few times for a little while with some people I was playing on TTS, and like every time I play into him, I'm like, wow, that model's like not half bad. So
he's really not. Again, I think there's 4 threat is such a competitive threat value, or there's so many good 4 threats. So I think that's why it's kind of hard to see his value. But Omega Red has DR. He has a healing ability, and if he ever gets fed power, he can pull characters from range 4. He pulls them medium and can pull multiple models a turn.
Yeah, that's pretty wild as far as like a control piece goes. So
you just don't see that anymore. You don't see anymore where a model that has that type of displacement that can do it multiple times per turn. And I think that's because AMG has correctly discerned that is really, really good.
Yeah, especially on a very durable chassis, right? And the advantage too that we're talking, because maybe if folks are unfamiliar with the Winter Guard like leadership again. So to remind everybody, a couple things are happening with the Winter Guard leadership. One, you get to remove a condition on the character at the beginning of their activation, I believe, Ben. Is that correct?
That is correct.
Yep. And the other thing is that if they're contesting a secure objective, they have a chance to roll on a die not to be pushed. And it's not limited to a once per turn situation like in Baku. They can repeatedly deny pushes, actually.
Yes.
That's pretty cool.
It is really cool. I will tell you right now, listeners, so that way you don't break your heart in sadness. It is a 35.7% chance that happens. So, you're playing the leadership for the first part, not the second part.
Okay.
Yeah.
I was like, this is getting really negative really quickly.
I'm just saying, you're playing it for the first part. You're not. When the second part happens, we're like, "Woo, this is great!" But it's there so that you can basically deny really annoying and frustrating conditions, which we're just seeing. More and more characters have multiple forms of triggers. I think of Ronin and Tigra, who just came out. Right.
Yeah.
Both of those characters in that box have ways to put tons of conditions on you in addition to having pierces and stuff like that. And there's these thwippy idiots who like to put slows everywhere. So
and stun before damage
and stun. It's fine. It's okay. We're not going to go down that road too far. But Winter Guard actually have, in my opinion, some decent play into webs. So
yeah,
it's cool to be able to deny those characters.
And I guess while we're on this topic too, we will just mention the other 3 characters in the affiliation, since you talked about 4 of them and there's only 7. Ursa Major, Darkstar, and then Winter Soldier Operative, the one that's better in Cabal, but no, the 3 threat is better in Cabal. But anyways,
the 3 threat is just better. Yeah.
The 3 threat is just maybe better.
Yeah.
I'm actually kind of surprised. I'll just bring this up real quickly. It would have been cool. I know, like Winter Guard isn't, or you said the new run of the comics, they're not like necessarily evil. They're just kind of like Avengers for Russia or for the Slavic.
Good save. But
it would have been cool to hark back and give them the ability to play Soldat activated, especially since they don't have a lot of stuff. Would that have helped, you think? I don't know.
1,000%. That is one of my many things that break my heart and frustrate me about the affiliation is, hey, do you know like the card that's in Russian isn't for the Slavic affiliation? So I don't get it. I don't know. I'm going to take a guess. I'm going to take a guess and assume that they probably didn't play test that Winter card with Winter Guard.
Yeah.
That's the only thing that kind of makes the most sense to me.
Well, I don't know. I'm looking at this, and the superpower that you gain has minion in it, and like that's an evil thing. So clearly, it's just Cabal, Crim, and Hydra.
Clearly. Yeah, it's one of those things. It would also make Crimson Dynamo annoyingly hard to kill.
Yeah.
So I can understand why it's not. It is just frustrating that it's not. So
yeah, I can see that. But I just kind of wanted to mention those three because, like, if you're starting Winter Guard, I feel like like a newer player or someone trying to get into the affiliation, you should, theoretically speaking, try all these models at least once or twice, right? So,
and the nice thing is you're going to get Ursa and Darkstar when you buy Crimson Dynamo and Red Guardian. So they come together if you can find the models, right? The boxes are a little bit harder to find.
And Omega Red comes on his own, so that's also a cool thing.
So until we start seeing those boxes like redistributed, it's easier to when you find them together. So you don't really have to like worry about that, which isn't too bad of a thing. So. Yeah, like so, they're a fun affiliation. Give them a try. I personally, and we can talk, transition this to the next thought process of, when I've been really successful with Winter Guard, one of the things I really like is double bubble. That's often because I'm not innovative and. Having reroll 2 on stuff is like go figure pretty good when you're beaming people from range 4. You could just reroll stuff. So that often involves Namor and Baron Zemo. Yep, and Baron Zemo. And I was running that in the meta of Demons Downtown, a lot of those E maps. And I was actually running Bucky too, Winter Guard or Winter Soldier operative, because of the amount of conditions that he can put out. I don't hate that model. I think that he gets underplayed and is a little underrepresented. I think that there are some ways to run him pretty effectively, but he can put out and dish out a lot of annoying conditions, sap or remove power. And his hit and run can attack you at range 5 with stealth. So like there's a lot of net benefits from this character. He just struggles to kind of do some things pretty consistently. So I think they're really neat and have different play styles. So I don't know.
Yeah,
I could talk. Oh, go
I will
ahead,
say
Jim.
that like between Crimson Dynamo and Winter Soldier Operative, you are just throwing out buckets of shock like everywhere. Like it's really bad.
I personally love affiliations that throw down a lot of conditions and just are annoying of like, look at all the things I can do to you. So Ursa Major is like a model that's like almost good, right? Like he's almost good.
He's a bear.
He's a bear. But his spender is actually like not bad. And there was a brief window where I was trying to run him in pre-nerfed Malekith era, where Malekith was just such a terror. And having a 4th threat who could just yeet him back into his team and staggered as aggressive and all of this other stuff was pretty cool. What you found out is Ursa still just exploded to death. So, which is in fact less good. So,
listeners may remember our Miles That Need Help episode on Alive on One, and I believe we talked both about Ursa Major and then probably if we want to touch on Darkstar a little bit as well. But yeah, Ursa is like so close, right? Like he
has the Groot Spender almost. Groot Spender is actually better, but
but this one costs 3 power. Groot's costs 5.
Yeah. True.
It is aggressively really, really efficient for the power you spend for this.
Yeah. So, and having aggressive with charge is good. Like is good. He suffers from, the AMG design space where, big tanky models go slow, right? And I think that we're not really seeing that too much anymore. So I'm holding on to hope that maybe in a character pass or an update, Ursa gets on a medium move. I think the medium move is probably enough to make him playable, which is cool.
Why doesn't he have DR? Like, I feel like he should have damage reduction too.
So I don't mind him having a large health pool without DR.
He's 7/7.
Yeah, he's a 7/7, which is like pretty good. I'd actually rather have him have 4 physical defense. He's I think that's one of the more strange things that doesn't have 4 physical defense. So he's 3, 3, 4, if I'm remembering correctly. I don't have the card right in front of me, but
yep, that's correct. Yeah,
man, it's like I've suffered trying to play that mono for a long time, and. So 7/7 with 3 physical defense, which is the most common attack type in the game, is just brutal. And so trying to find ways to make him just a little bit more tanky without having DR, I think would be nice. But Darkstar is the only other character that we haven't talked about yet that's in the affiliation. And if I'm going to be completely honest, I don't know how to fix her enough. Without just completely reworking the character.
I think that basically you need to increase her power generation, right? I think all the abilities are great, but you need something that gives her more consistent power generation. And also, I don't understand the point of the spender, because the rending force is like, okay, you get 7 dice, but it doesn't do much outside of just doing damage. So it just seems like it's like, well, Hail Mary, I'm just trying to daze or KO a guy, right? That's in front of me.
Yes.
But if something is within 2 of Darkstar, I feel like something's probably going wrong at the moment.
It's going to end poorly for you pretty quickly. And I wonder if Darkstar, because she was, people have to remember that, we're so far into MCP that Winter Guard was actually like, they're a pretty old affiliation in terms of releases. They still have the old vertical model or vertical cards, right? And so I've just wondered if Darkstar has suffered the Steve 1 design space, right? Where her superpowers are overcosted because, well, if she gets splashed into a power sharing or a power efficient affiliation, now she's too good, right? And so I think the abilities are cool. It actually makes sense for her lore and all of that. But you're right. She just doesn't have ways to generate the power. Even just making her gainer a builder would be enough for me. Just make it a builder so that it's a little bit more risky. But she then has a chance to build, some of her power. So I don't know how much time we want to spend on trying to make bad characters good. But
I can see her in Inhumans, Jin. Like, weirdly enough, she might be okay there. I'm not saying good, but
yeah, it's instead of having a net like power positive with Lockjaw, you can sink more power, but then you have like slightly better offensive potential, right, in Darkstar. But that's really trying. Listen, we have to buff Darkstar because Dark Force Barrier is the only thing that can stop Doctor Strange 1 being a menace right now. So
that's it. We've cracked it. We've cracked the code.
Because there's not a lot that stops an energy attack from pushing you in this game, and Dark Force Barrier is one of the few things that comes to mind when I think about that.
Oh yeah.
I just have to play 3 threat down. Yeah, just have to play 3 threat down.
Dude, do you want to talk about the tactics? I'm sorry. The tactics card is always so funny because it's one of the worst tactics cards I've ever seen.
So bad. That's right. I don't want to cry tonight. So,
joke's on you. That's why we invited you.
that's actual joke.
But yeah, we talked about this in the previous episodes. It's like, guys, the cards were made with a very fun thematic idea, but man, the gameplay is so outpaced, like what those cards are bringing these days, that it's hard to justify them. So
yeah. And you can check out that episode. It's from over the summer if you haven't listened to it yet.
Ben, I do want to ask, what cards would you recommend though, as far as affiliated tactics cards?
One.
There's one.
There's one. There's one affiliated
Highlander. Yes.
There's one affiliated card for the affiliation that you should be running all the time, and then there's one character card that you should be running all the time, in my opinion. That would be Sovereign Strike, which is such a good card. The stories I can tell you of Sovereign Strike. I love that card so much. It fills me with great joy. Sovereign Strike, if you're unfamiliar, is a Winter Guard character, spends 3, looks at a size 4 terrain feature from range 4 of the character who's spending, and then every character within 1 of that terrain feature takes 2 automatic damage. It is so chef-kissed perfect because of the cool combinations that you can do with Red Guardian pushing people. So he only has gainers, so he can attack one person, attack another person, push them all to this little lamp, and then blow up the lamp. It's just a size 1 little consequential there. Boom! Blows up and does 6 damage to different characters. It's such a glorious thing. I have had game swinging turns because of Sovereign Strike, right? Most people, especially nowadays in metas that are just bodyguard heavy and everyone turtling, all this stuff. So they'll turtle around cover or do these things. They're like, what if that thing exploded? That's great. I love that card. It's a great card. The other card that you should be running if you're playing Winter Guard in your 10 and probably in your 5 almost every game is Comrade's Keeper, which is not an affiliated card, but it is stapled to Red Guardian. So that is effectively Red Guardian spends 2 and range 3. He gets to bodyguard for a character. If he doesn't die from the attack, he gets to throw the character away from Red Guardian. So
and it is any size throw, unlike yours. It's
I have thrown Dormammu's, and it's real funny. People, I will say, it is very funny when you say, all right, I'm going to throw your Sentinel or your Dormammu. Like, what? I'm like, can I see that card? Like, here you go. As this strong Slavic mutant is just like, have you ever been yeeted before? Great.
I had a similar epiphany when Groot threw my Dormammu.
Yes. Yep.
I didn't know you could do that. How about so I'm in Jarvis and I was like, oh yeah, Winter Guard. Ben's just talking about one card. Let me see all the Winter Guard cards.
The plethora of Winter Guard cards. Yeah.
So how do you feel about Winter Rush? So it doesn't seem half bad.
So the card itself, you're right, is not half bad. The problem is you don't have great models who are going to be benefiting from it a whole bunch, right? So you should be running 3 Winter Guard characters, and in my opinion, that card doesn't get enough benefit if you're just affecting 3 models on the board. I'd rather see power. Yeah, for 6 power. I'd rather use that power off of Red Guardian to keep Comrade's Keeper up or Sovereign Strike or do anything a little bit more impactful, in my opinion. I also have found that Crimson Dynamo needs to start the turn with 2 power. And so if you're spending a whole bunch of power for him to play a card that's really not going to be doing a whole bunch, you're gonna struggle. He needs his power to do all of his shenanigans that he can do in a turn. I have found that effective Winter Guard players are characters who can leverage what Crimson Dynamo can do the most efficiently. So spending power off of two characters that need their power to do other and better stuff, it just isn't worth it for me.
Makes sense. Have you seen it in like other Winter Guard players? No?
So there are. I actually do think Ludo is running it in his 10 right now. And I have run it during affiliation battles because it's funny. But yeah, I just I don't know if it has enough legs for me to be doing what I want. So you can do it because you think it's cute, but I think that's pretty much the most value that you're going to get out of it. Is like, oh, that was kind of cute.
Yeah, this card is going to scale well as well. Whenever they make new Winter Guard models, right? Which I'm just going to cross my fingers, say that they're either going to update current ones and or make new ones down the line.
Oh, Jen's hopeful! Yay!
So when that happens, though, I think this card definitely becomes part of the conversation again. I think.
Yeah, 100%. I, to be honest, was very surprised that we got Black Widow and Bucky too, right? I actually thought that was and Omega. Yeah, we got all of those. I mean, Omega kind of makes a little bit more sense in terms of the lore. He was actually a part of the Winter Guard for a little while, so that was neat. I think there are some really cool characters from the Winter Guard. Volstagg, Red Widow, White Widow, Chernobog, Perun are all really, really neat characters that I think would be cool to see in MCP. So
here's hoping. Maybe they'll update New Mutants at the same time.
Nah, we don't need more mutants.
You can have Red
Guardians. You can have Red Guardians and mutant.
Yeah, and to be fair, they also have already teased some New Mutant models, so it's kind of a bummer they haven't shown anything for Winter Guard yet. Mini extravaganza may or may not have already happened, but by the time you listen to this, but
it definitely will. It's coming out this Saturday from recording.
That's true. Yeah, so that definitely will have already happened.
Yeah. Listen, we know that Sentinels are getting new models, right? So it's not impossible, right, that we're going to see a faction more fleshed out, right, in the future.
Yeah,
I'm saying.
Are you just saying if Sentinels can get new models, Winter Guard can get new models? Love it. There's hope.
Yep, indeed. So do you want to? I'm just looking at our kind of list here. Do you want to talk about kind of your current list and walk through your selection of missions, what you think they work best on? Also kind of what splashes you do bring and what are some, maybe list some other splashes to consider too, because that's always kind of useful for the given play style, how you're running them. I guess just give us a rundown.
Yeah, give the old lowdown. Yeah. So my current Winter Guard roster that I've played in, this roster got third at ACO. And if I wasn't super silly, I could have beaten Waylon, who ended up beating winning the whole event. So it was close. That was a great event. But this is Crimson General, Omega Red Guardian, and Black Widow as my affiliated pieces. I have a man crush with Taskmaster. Taskmaster, very tanky model.
Hey! He's a New Mutant. He's not in Winter Guard.
Right? Yeah, man. Taskmaster wears a lot of hats, and so I love Taskmaster in Winter Guard. I think he's pretty cool. I also have a man crush on Namor. I don't know if really, when I'm not playing Apocalypse, I don't know how to play the game without Namor, if I can really just be honest.
We do bust your balls about this all the time, Ben. What a surprise. Another Namor shell.
It's just oh wait, what 5-threat safe grab that offers a reroll bubble that I can always Namor? Yay, more Namor. So I love Namor in Winter Guard. And then I have Shang-Chi because reasons. And the last three, I have Hulks. I think having a 6th threat is really important.
Oh my God, Ben. You're running through this, and I'm thinking It's half of my New Mutants list.
I mean, look. Sometimes when your affiliated models are not great, you gotta look for some of those really good Splash models just to go. Please save me.
Wait. So New Mutants and Winter Guard are like the same affiliation, right?
Right. So, do you care about removing conditions or just give them free teleports? What's
right? Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Which one do you really want to do? Is teleport or remove conditions? So I think I'll be surprised if my last two are in your New Mutants roster. But I have Colossus as a Splash 4. And one of the more spicy techs that I've recently had been running with this list that I actually think has a ton of legs and like a lot is Nova. I really like Nova a whole bunch. My tactic cards: Sovereign Strike, Brace, Sacrifice, Comrade's Keeper, Recal, Prince's Protection, Chi Mastery, Vertical Assistance, Survival, and Call for Backup. My secures are Macrayan, as the proper way to say it. Then there's Mayor Fisk and Wedding Party. Hammers, Scrolls, and Books are my extracts for pretty much every affiliation that I play, or I only play affiliations that like to play those extracts because, more than 4 extracts is silly.
I'm seeing a theme here. You just do the same thing with different affiliations.
I just do the same thing with different affiliations. Like, wait, they're good at this too. Yeah. I'm a simple man. So, but I really like. So I've been running Nova a whole bunch more actually with this Winter Guard, mostly because of the control value and survivability that he can add to the affiliation is something that I think that is something the affiliation is trying to do. I don't know if they do it super well. So I think from what I've experienced with Nova in all of my games that I've run Nova, is he provides more consistency with survivability with rerolls and having sizeless pushes. I don't know if you know this, is just really good. I think Nova should be kind of considered a little bit more for the things that he can do. He's got some like weird safe grabs too with his faster than light and walking, getting to power, and all of the kind of weird things that he can do. So I think it's really interesting what Nova can offer to the affiliation. I like Colossus and Omega Red a whole bunch into the Inhumans matchup. Having DR characters really makes the Terrigenesis math a little bit harder, and they've got to work for it a little bit more consistently. I've seen crazy Inhuman players try to roll for Terrigenesis with 2 health left. Jen, do you know the math off the top of your head of actually what that is?
What to get so let's say if Crimson Dynamo's on 2 health left, right? How hard is it to get the Terrigenesis skill on him?
Just for a normal model that has 2 health, what's the math to roll 2 successes on 4 dice, counting all offensive?
I would imagine it's 50%, because it's half a dice, right? Are the facings you want, and you need 2 of them.
I'm gonna trust you, because that sounds right, or at least that's going to make it more affirmational of what I'm about to say next. So, having a DR character like Omega Red and Colossus as an extract holder with 2 health makes it even that much harder for the Terrigenesis play to happen. In addition to just the benefit of having DR, right? Colossus is a pretty tanky model. Omega Red can be a tanky model if you occasionally damage people with him. I really like both of those models in the current meta of the game. And Shang-Chi is just silly until please AMG, please fix Kung Fu Man.
We've talked about that a lot on this podcast.
Ben, if we can go back for a second, can I just say that yours 2 spicy picks are hilarious because they both kind of make your leadership irrelevant in half their ways.
What do you mean?
So Colossus can never be pushed. So
Yeah.
after leadership doesn't do anything for you.
Yeah.
And then Nova, when he moves, he just removes all conditions anyway.
Yeah.
So
yeah,
I just thought that was just really funny that your spicy picks also get less out of your leadership.
Well, Colossus, I mean, so the no push on Colossus is actually just all gas, right? Because I for me, as I have played Winter Guard since day one, I have had too many tiers of assuming that second part of the leadership is actually going to work. So the way that I have tried to keep my sanity is just pretend that part of the leadership doesn't actually exist. So I just assume that part doesn't actually exist. And Colossus just is all gas, removing, painful and frustrating conditions. And you're right, Nova clears all of his stuff. So
it does fix the stagger problem, right? Which
it does fix the stagger problem, which is, in my opinion, worth it by itself, right? So
yeah.
And doesn't he have to move to clear? I can't remember.
Correct.
Yeah, so you wouldn't have to move him, so you could potentially double tap more easily, I guess, if you needed to. Cool. Can you go over your crisis too? Like why those? What are you thinking in terms of like game plan with your crisis layout? And what have you kind of maybe also like switched between or like played into, or do that with characters too? Actually, like what are some other characters you've considered, and maybe a little bit of why?
Yeah, so for characters, I really just try to think of characters that offer a level of survivability. A pretty popular splash model in Winter Guard that is really all credit to Ludo is Hood. Hood heals models while also putting bleed conditions on your own characters. But with your Winter Guard leadership, you don't actually care about that too much. And he provides a mystic attack that my roster really struggles to put out besides Shang-Chi, right? So he's a pretty popular splash model that you see. You can't go wrong with really any of the 6 threats. I think they all kind of function in different ways. So it really just kind of depends on what you're trying to do. I've seen Immortal Hulks. I've seen Gladiators. I've tried them all.
Have you tried Phoenix?
No, actually, I haven't tried Phoenix. And that's because I think Phoenix is poo-poo. But that's... Maybe I need to do that, Jed. Maybe after this we'll play a Winter Guard match, and I'll play some Phoenix. And
please.
and then we'll immediately say, "Don't do this."
This is why you don't do this.
Just for consistency, you did say all the 6 threats.
I forgot that Phoenix exists. I forgot that Phoenix exists because she's not a good 6 threat, but that's okay. So yeah, one of the other things that I have tried that really I value out of models is models that can help fix positioning. I have tried ways that can help move Crimson Dynamo in the past. So back in the advanced R&D days, characters that had airlift like Sam or Angel can help move, not Crimson Dynamo because he's a little thick boy, but other characters that can help reposition models and things like that. Those are all net benefits.
Have you tried Red Skull 3?
Yes. So for a long time, because I also have a Red Skull handicap, is a lot of my affiliations were Cabal dual affiliated. I was recently challenged to run Winter Guard as mono affiliated. I think that it is a faction that struggles to do so, if I'm going to be completely honest. I think where Winter Guard really thrives is as a dual affiliated faction, so that you want to be running them with something else. So you'll notice that in some of my other Winter Guard lists that I've had in the past, they are Cabal affiliated, and that's because I bring Red Skull 3, who helps reposition Crimson Dynamo, and Crimson Dynamo actually really likes Red Skull 3 leadership, so it works both ways.
Very true.
So yeah, there's lots of flexibility. I've run Dracula in Winter Guard as well too, because Dracula is a cool model. So there's like lots of flexibility, especially when you think of that as a framework, that Winter Guard is a dual affiliated faction, and can provide some depth for that. I love bringing Mayor Fisk, mostly because a lot of other affiliations currently hate Mayor Fisk. And so here's affiliation that just thrives off of that secure. They don't mind the inconsequential damage, and the stun is not that big of a deal. Where you have seen in the current meta, Apocalypse lists bring Professor X because of Mayor Fisk, 16s and, all of these other things. So there are times where you can just sit there and go, booga, 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 I can do this to you, and I personally have a lot of fun doing that. So I think that's neat. I don't really have a lot to say about my extracts because, as previously mentioned, I run the same extracts almost all the time for everything that I play.
Right, you're just comfortable with these particular extracts, right?
I personally, this is just my preferred play style. I love scrolls, I love books, and I love hammers. So those are the three extracts that I think I play the best at, and I prefer affiliations that can thrive at that. Having Crimson Dynamo with a hammer is now beaming at range 4 with 6 dice is really friggin' good. If you didn't know that beaming lots of people and having a higher propensity to put out shocks, it's all good. So hammers is fun with Winter Guard, and like I said, you could do some neat things. So yeah, I encourage people to give that a try. And like I said, Winter Guard is nice because there is so much flexibility with the affiliation of just trying different stuff. So the best way to play it is to innovate, but also just be prepared to get your butt kicked a lot. So that is the joy. I've had people come and talk to me about wanting to play Winter Guard because they're drawn to Slavic affiliations for one reason or another, or they like the model, or have seen different paint schemes, or whatever it may be. And what do you do? And often the first thing I say, like, be prepared to lose. Like, just you're just going to lose a fair amount of your games to start. So so there's a big, as a Slavic person, a big part of our ethnic identity. And I wish I was joking about this, is just the norm of suffering. It's just.
Dostoevsky was.
Yes.
Yep.
About that. It is just the norm, and I really appreciate AMG bringing that into the affiliation. So
allowing you to suffer a little bit,
allowing me to continue my people's tradition of just suffering. And Winter Guard does that well. So it is. There's some harshness. They're not a bad affiliation to play with. They are a bad affiliation competitively, and I think you can have some success with them. I think that myself and Ludo and some other people have shown that you can be successful playing Winter Guard, but it is a big commitment to do so. The amount of reps and time spent playing on everything and just going, what do I do? How do I deal with this? You're,
I don't want to bring this up, Ben, but it sounds familiar to another affiliation that may or may not swing through the buildings of New York City.
Any comparison to Winter? Look, I will leave this cast right now. I will go to my trailer.
The irony is not lost on me.
I would say look at Webb's win rate compared to Winter Guard win rate. But yes, I think you're in terms of being rewarded for spending more time and playing with the affiliation. Yes, that it makes sense.
All jokes aside, there's there's a few affiliations like that. There's some more on easy mode, and I don't think Webs are by any means on easy mode. But
no, I agree. As much as I throw out a lot of Webs hate, to be a good, and don't let Deaton ever hear this. Or Jin.
I don't know who will. Yeah, or Jin. Jin. Earmuffs.
Jin, close your ears. Webs is an affiliation that really rewards the players. The more time you spend with it, the better you're going to get, and as you should. So I think it's cool.
I like affiliations like that. It's really nice. So
yeah.
Yep, I think Winter Guard does teach you you have to have good fundamentals, right? Learning how to deploy well, to make sure that your guys aren't out of place. Remember to play the mission and not lose track of things, right? There's a lot of things that you have to sequence correctly, right, to win with an affiliation that is under the curve, right? At the end of the day.
Yep.
Yeah, and really one of the strongest plays that you can do as a Winter Guard player is your Sovereign Strike play. Right, so being able to know when to pull that trigger of when to Sovereign Strike and putting as many enemy characters in the Sovereign Strike as possible is going to win you or lose you some of these games. Right, so you're exactly right, Jen. It's about fundamentals, positioning, making sure that you don't put yourself in the Sovereign Strike. Like it all kind of meshes together. So,
we shouldn't all put ourselves in the Fisk construction building.
I think Jin might remember one of my favorite NashCon stories when I will say I have always been the bride or the bridesmaid with Winter Guard. I've done really well at many events with them, but I've never won a major event with them. I've got second and third. You're I've never crossed the finish line, but I got second at NashCon, not this last year, but the year before, with them, and that was really awesome. And one of my favorite moments was a Wakanda player was hiding all behind this Mayor Fisk building that was right in the middle on an E map, and on the top of turn 2, I proceeded to hop with Crimson Dynamo, beam one time, hit several characters, get 3 power so that I can then Sovereign Strike the Mayor Fisk building and do 8 damage. And then beam everyone who was alive and dazed 4 of 5 characters.
That was so good.
It was glorious.
It's like when Dormammu's spender goes off and hits all their entire team. Those little moments.
those little moments. It was glorious. Did I probably deserve to win the game? No, but it was real funny. And with the help of Nemo or Zemo, those were the days.
So, listeners, if you do come across our rare unicorn Winter Guard player, please be mindful of where you're standing for Sovereign Strike. Opportunities.
Please put all of your characters conveniently around one terrain feature. I won't tell if you won't.
So I guess I'm just quick behind the scenes here. I just crossed these off because we've been talking about them. That's just to you two. But I guess, do you have any kind of generalized recommendations for people wanting to start? I mean, you kind of already did this too, but give a play-by-play. Say you're new to the game, you really like Winter Guard. What do you do from there, and how do you build up? How did you practice with them too? for example?
Yeah. So if you're going to play Winter Guard, I really encourage it. Resist the tilt. This is an affiliation that you're going to have to learn how to resist the tilt. And trying to have that good mental headspace is going to be really important to play the affiliation. But I have found that if you're really trying to play them, playing Crimson Dynamo, Red Guardian, Black Widow every game, and then just filling the other two models, right, going 5 wide every single game, is something that I have found helps you learn kind of the core of what you're trying to do. So that's often going to be with a 5 threat and a 3 threat, or a 4 threat, a 5 and a 4, or a 6 and a 3. It's going to help you try to do that, but try not to get overwhelmed with, oh my goodness, my Hulk just feels unkillable because he can never be staggered, and I resisted a push, whatever. It may be. Those are just kind of net benefits that you're getting from the affiliation, and trying to find your way out of holes that aren't just dice spikes, because this is an affiliation, in my opinion, that's going to not dice spike a lot. Red Guardian doesn't have great attacks. Even Crimson Dynamo, when he does his 5-die beam, it's just a 5-die beam. You're putting out more attacks potentially, but they're not quality attacks. So learning to find ways to win the game without dazing models is something that I think is a skill set that a new Winter Guard player would really benefit from. So I'd really encourage people to try to find ways to live that out as best that they can. It's a good way to get started. And just doing it. Pull the Band-Aid off, just do it, and don't be afraid to lose games. Like it's going to happen. Winning or losing games don't define you. So,
indeed, they do.
Nope. You gotcha.
Go ahead, Jim.
Oh no, I was thinking that just with the core models you listed here, like to think about the roles, right, and like when you want these characters to go. So if you're just taking Dynamo and Red Guardian, for instance, like if we're trying to figure out who to activate first, I think Dynamo's a great character to activate earlier in the turn, because not only can you put out shock, protect your characters, but generate the power, right, for the disruption field, I think, to make sure that your models stay alive is a good thing to do. And then the later that Red Guardian goes, right, he can go and push people off of points for you to win them. So if you can start thinking about like when do models need to activate, that might help your Winter Guard journey. It's just something I just want to throw out there.
That's it.
Yep, which is another fundamental. So
Yep.
Cool. And so, I mean, that was a great final thought too thing. But do you have any more final thoughts to your final thought?
No, that's look, play the faction, have fun, right? I think it's really easy sometimes for us to just play in like echo chambers and play what's the best stuff, and just play the faction, have some fun with it. Learn how to when you try to Slav squat, make sure you stretch. Stretching is really important, in that your knees will thank you later. Trust me.
Yeah. And do you roll better if you come in a tracksuit when you play this faction?
Yes. What? Okay. This is my final thought. Okay? Nope, you did it. You did this. You triggered my final thought. As a Slavic person, I am naturally inclined to Adidas. And so I want you to let you know that my shoes for years have been Adidas. I wear all of my tracksuit pants are all Adidas. I do have a tracksuit little jacket that's Adidas. So, you want to know how to get good with Winter Guard? Purchase Adidas.
Tracksuit Preacher coming at you.
Tracksuit Preacher.
That could be a cool comic.
I was about to say in movies, in theaters this summer.
Ben, do you prefer bucket hat or no bucket hat?
Bucket hat or no bucket hat? Look, if you want to wear a bucket, you wear a bucket, man. I'm not going to judge.
Okay.
I'm not going to judge.
Okay.
I'm not going to judge. I will
Cool.
say, was it? So was it in the Hawkeye show that had the tracksuit Slavs? Is that what it was?
Yeah, I think there was literally
I
a
think so.
tracksuit gang that was in the
Yeah. I think I'm remembering that.
A lot
So
of people
yeah,
didn't like that show. I actually like found it kind of pleasant because it came out around Christmas and it was like kind of holiday themed. I don't know.
Yeah.
I liked it. Yeah,
Yeah.
I liked it a bunch. Hawkeye's a
And I-
cool character. So
And I think
Yeah.
it also introduced Yelena, right? And that was just a breath of fresh air to that like series as well.
both
Yeah.
those actresses, the lady who does Kate Bishop, she's pretty good as well too. I like her a ton. And then yeah, the actress that does Yelena is also great. So AMG, give us Kate Bishop and give us Yelena.
Yeah.
So we can,
there we go.
so
Or
we
any
can-
of the that other movie that came, Thunderbolts. Like some of those might be cool too.
Sentry. Yeah, give us Sentry so we can talk about
and,
our
and make
mental
him broken like APOC.
make him APOC.
Just keep designing characters exactly like APOC, and then
my baby boy APOC did nothing wrong. Okay, leave my blue baby
leave
boy alone.
APOC alone. Cool. So Ben, thank you so much for coming on tonight. I literally, in like thinking about this episode and trying to get someone on, like I think you're the only person like that I would ever have reached out to for this episode. So thank you so much for coming on tonight. I think more people do need to experiment with these kind of, as you were kind of saying. Like I know I was making New Mutant jokes, but they're in a very similar situation. And so it's easy kind of to make comparisons. And I think people do need to, kind of try to figure some stuff out there. And yeah, that losing a lot is a very, very good way to humble you as a gamer too. So,
I mean, it's. I think sometimes when we get just so hyper focused on like, if I win, that makes me good, right?
right.
And unfortunately, that's not always the case, right? When people started taking away like the Thor 2 lists or the Malekith lists, and winning came a little bit more conditional on like how you positioned your models and did you understand the board state correctly and all these other things, rather than like, I ooga booga Malekith, you die. I ooga booga Malekith, you die. Right? I play follow me. I play all this other stuff that you could do that can be frustrating or game tilting or whatever the case may be. And it's kind of an easy road to victory. Well, what happens when those pieces are going to change? I really appreciate AMG's commitment to changing things and making things, either a little bit more balanced, a little bit more fair. I appreciate that. I know that some people get upset when their toys change. Well, there's a life lesson there somewhere, right?
Yeah. There's something to be said about some of these affiliations that like this is definitely feels a little bit like one of them, and at least the way you were talking about playing them. And there's something about like stripping away that inherent like ability to just smash things that forces you to learn about this game in a very different way and kind of learn some of the fundamentals that we were just talking about. So
yeah, 100%. I honestly do think this may sound weird, but I think playing Winter Guard as long as I did made me a better Apocalypse player, because well, how do I understand the board state? How do I understand my outs, my win conditions? Because not everything with Apocalypse is going to go smooth. Sometimes things are going to get a little hairy pretty quickly, and you need to figure a way out. Well, if you play the faction, you learn how to do it.
yeah. So pick up your Winter Guard pick up your Winter Guard along with our Live on One t-shirts, which is our Jin told me to advertise. Shameless. Which we do have available. We actually do have them available through our store, but I think if we're gonna do something apparel wise, we might look at a redesign and then some cooler stuff. So coming soon, potentially.
Can I have mine pre-worn by Jen?
Oh, absolutely. I think they all come that way. We just send a big box to Jin's house. You've got to wear 30 of these over the next month, and then I can ship them.
Oh, Jen.
You know what's going to happen is I'm just going to wear 30 shirts at once.
Jin gained a lot of weight, huh?
Oh yeah, that's weird. Weird. He's comfy now. This is winter Jin. This is winter
Yep.
Jin.
The higher the tier Patreon that you support us is the how closer it gets to my skin.
Woo! All right, I know where I'm subbing now.
Yes, we finally have incentive. Cool, but thank you again, Ben, for coming on. You can catch Ben on the GameStore Guardians podcast with some of our other homies who I'm going to see this weekend or last weekend. I had to think about that one. You can follow us
as a construct.
Yeah. Well, your whole WTC experience, gaining, losing time with all the time changes was confusing as well. So.
Yep.
But yeah, again, thanks, Ben, so much for coming on. Always great to talk to you and hear you talk about things that you're passionate about. So I really appreciate you coming on tonight. And you can follow us at Alive on One on that's our email. Our Discord link is below. We have a Facebook page, and actually, Waller is going to start managing our Instagram again, so we'll probably have things there, and that is also at Alive on One. Please leave a review on Apple and Spotify or wherever you prefer to listen. Our affiliate, Huge Miniatures, linked down below. You can get all the cool painting supplies at your heart's content. And as usual, excuse me, thank you so much for listening, and Godspeed, Ursa Major. Bye-bye.